guys and girls, and welcome to my guide to overclocking NVIDIA graphics cards. To start off with, you're going to need two pieces of software. The first one is MSI Afterburner. You can use other software that is the same, but MSI Afterburner is known to be the best. The other piece of software you're going to need is Tech PowerUp's GPUZ. You'll be happy to know that both of these pieces of software are available free to download without any noncing about and giving over your personal details or any BS like that. Once you've installed these programs, opening up GPUZ will give you a bunch of information about your graphics cards, including voltages, manufacturer, core clock speed and memory clock speed, as well as giving you the ability to copy the video card's BIOS and check a bunch of sensor information. Moving on to MSI Afterburner itself, this software allows you to take control of the video card's BIOS and instruct it to apply more voltage to the graphics core as well as the memory chips, adjust the fan profiles. This allows you to increase the graphics card's core frequencies as well as the memory chip frequencies, which allows you to achieve better performance. It's also packed with a whole bunch of other neat stuff, like the ability to overlay information in games such as GPU temperature, CPU temperature, FPS, etc. Okay, so now we can start overclocking. The first thing you want to do is click on this little question mark right next to bus interface, and this will start a render test. The reason why you want to do this is to put some load on the graphics card. It will ramp up to its maximum speed, and you can see the maximum clock frequency and the maximum memory frequency. Once you've done this, you then want to increase the fan speed to its maximum, so we can change this to manual mode. There you go. Well, 95% is good enough, and what that's going to do is it's going to take care of any thermal throttling. After that, you want to push the power limit up to 120, and the temperature limit is tethered to that, so that will go up to 90. And then with core voltage percentage, you can go ahead and whack this up to 100. So once you've done all of that, click apply and then save it to a profile. The reason why you want to do this is because when you start to overclock, you're going to reach a limit where your computer is going to crash. When this happens, your computer is going to restart itself, and by clicking on the profile, you can quickly reapply all these presets so that you don't have to do all the adjustments again. So once you've done all of that, then you can start by increasing the core clock first. The reason why you want to do the core clock first is because that's going to have the most gains, and also if you increase the memory clock, it will destabilize the core clock. So you want to get the core as fast as possible first, and then second to that, overclock the memory to as fast as it will go with the highest stable core clock. Now, the way to do this is to add 25 megahertz at a time and applying it, and you'll see that the core frequency in the left here is boosting as I'm applying it. And we're up to 2000. Now, I know this graphics card well. I've already overclocked it to the limit, and the maximum stable is around 100 on the core, so that's my maximum limit right there. If I push it higher than that, it'll start to crash and I'll have problems, so I'm not going to push it any higher just because I'm filming right now. By running this render test in the background, you're actually pre-testing your stability of your overclock. It's fairly reliable. If it crashes with this render test running, then it's not stable, but you will get certain occasions where this will continue to run stably, but then when you start playing games, it will crash. So once you've reached what you think is your stable limit, it's worth playing a game, like a variety of different games for some time, just to make sure that it's 100% stable. If you do get crashing, what you do is you start backing off by maybe 5 megahertz at a time until you reach a speed where the computer is completely stable and you no longer have any crashing. That's your maximum overclock for the core. And once you've established that, you can come back to MSI Afterburner and start to ramp up the memory clock. Again, it's the same process where you apply 25 megahertz at a time and keep increasing it until you start to see visual artifacts or the computer crashes. I've already done it. Again, on this card, I know it well. And so I know that with my core clock at plus 100, my maximum stable overclock is 450 on the memory. At this point, you will have reached your maximum overclock without hardware modifying your cards. And the last thing that you might want to do is play some games and keep an eye on the graphics card temperature. You can create a custom fan curve so that you get the best performance whilst keeping your computer as quiet as possible. And that pretty much wraps it up. And that's how you overclock your NVIDIA graphics card. One last thing, once you've found the ideal overclock and fan settings, then you can click this little button here, which will apply your overclock and your settings on system startup, so you don't have to keep opening MSI Afterburner. It'll just automatically switch them on as the computer boots, which is ideal. If you guys like this video, click like, and if you enjoy these types of videos, subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching.